deal with the stress I get from going out.
What is going on, everybody? And welcome to the very first episode of Eat the Hatchet. So real quick, I guess I should probably introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. My name is Steve, and this is basically a podcast for my Blackhawks themed newsletter of the same name, Eat the Hatchet. You can find that at eatthehatchet.com over on Substack, where I get to ramble on about the Blackhawks, a team that we all just love to hate. Maybe the team hates us, but basically what this show is just like a real quick updates on either game recaps, news, whatever's going on, just kind of as I see fit. And it's just me, so don't want to try to keep you here too long and listen to my voice ramble on, because that's probably gets a little boring. So I'll try to keep these really short and really sweet. And this thing really is just a way for me to practice my podcasting skills or my speaking. I am a member of the Four Feathers podcast, so that's my main focus. This is just kind of like a test dummy, and it's really rough around the edges. So if you're kind of annoyed, I guess, suck it up. I'll fix it. Like right now, my mic isn't the best, so I'm working with what I got. That'll improve. Hopefully the intro isn't like blasting your ears. And that should get fixed too if it is. So we'll figure it out together, right? Just kind of like how the Blackhawks are trying to figure it out. But yeah, if you like the show, feel free to subscribe. I'd really greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to my newsletter. But enough about me. Let's talk about the Blackhawks, because we have a win to discuss. They broke a 7-game losing streak. Hell yes, it's finally over, and they didn't look too bad getting the win. Ryan Donato almost got a hat trick. He scored 2 goals, but he was not the number one star of the game. Let's see real quick. Let me pull those up for you, so sit tight. Pat Maroon, he's the number 3 star of the game. Of course, yesterday he was the number 1 over in St. Louis. That was his final game at his in his hometown. Today he actually, I don't want to say he actually did something warranted. That kind of sounds mean, but I just say that because yesterday he didn't get a single point. Anyways, he scored a goal and he got an assist. The second star of the game, Ryan Donato, like I said, he scored 2 goals, almost with the Hattie. And then Tyler Bertuzzi scored a goal and got 2 assists. And I do want to talk about Bertuzzi just a little bit, maybe. We'll see. Just kind of want to go over some quick highlights. My personal favorite highlight of the game is Connor Bedard. He scored his 20th goal. He scored to tie the game, I believe. And he... it was about time, right? And it was a really nice wrist shot, kind of his classic shot that he's known for. So that was awesome. Anytime Bedard gets a point, I'm excited, right? You just want to see him pile on as many points, as many goals as possible. Another player who I thought stood out was Teuvo Teravainen. He had 2 assists, both of them on the power play, and he fed Ryan Donato his 2 goals. So Teuvo, he had an excellent game. He was good on both ends of the ice. Yesterday, I thought he was a little rough. Again, yesterday they played the St. Louis Blues, but I thought yesterday that Teuvo was a little rough around the edges. Today he looked much better. So hell yeah, Turbo. That's what we're talking about, right? And other than that, I'm just looking. I don't think there was anybody. Oh yeah, hey, check this out. Lucas Reichel, he scored his 7th goal of the season, so props to him. I could do a whole episode on Reichel and what I think about him. But instead, I said I wanted to talk a little bit about Tyler Bertuzzi, who assisted on Joe Veleno's sixth goal. I want to say it was his first goal as a Blackhawk. Doesn't really matter, but it was his first goal. So, anyways, Tyler Bertuzzi, he's kind of been cold recently. He's like a one-trick pony where he gets really close up to the net, gets really dirty goals, and recently it's just been really dry for him. So he's I want to say he's got 4 points in like 2 games or something. So he is he's a streaky player, right? So his production is going to go up and it's going to go down. It's kind of frustrating because he's signed here for a long time. Will it impact anything? No, it will not, because the cap is just not going to matter for this team. And Bertuzzi, with the cap going up, it's not. But my only concern with Bertuzzi is, like his attitude, right? Is he playing just because he's got a paycheck? Is he going to actually care? I'm sure he does. Sure he's a nice dude and everything, but yeah, I just don't know. So those are kind of the things that I noticed specific to the players. I do take notes during the game, just like little things here and there, looking at anything that stood out to me. Bedard and Nazar, their chemistry looks pretty solid. And for the second period, Tavo, his line started off really well, and he had a really nice scoring chance. And that's kind of when I was like, all right, cool. Turbo is having an excellent game. And he ended up finishing strong, right? And he did have a really nice steal in the middle of the second period. He picked somebody's pocket, took the puck, and then got the Hawks some offensive zone time. And this I want to talk about. Third period, Blackhawks, they changed their forechecking from a 2-1-2 to a 1-2-2. And if you read my stuff, I like talking about the tactics and a lot of the forechecking stuff. Sorensen played conservative hockey in the third period. And I personally would rather have him get a little bit more aggressive, right? Connor Bedard, he wants to play a more aggressive type of hockey. He wants to play in a system that is going to facilitate his scoring, and that's the same way with Frank Nazar and a lot of these younger players that are coming up in the pipeline. But on 1-2-2 forecheck, you got a 3-goal lead. You're going to want to protect that lead, right? Especially for Sorensen, who kind of looks like he's maybe playing for a job now, at least in his head. But you want to have Bedard generate offense, and him playing this 1-2-2 forecheck is not going to do that. It's slowing the game down, which I get it. That's the only way you're going to really squeeze a win out, but in my mind, you're already up that far. Open yourself up to some chances against, right? Get Bedard out there to practice his game and how he's actually going to play in the NHL. There's no harm. This season's already in the toilet. I mean, for example, the Sharks are now only 2 points behind the Blackhawks, which means that the Hawks are about to be in last place. Well, I stand corrected, actually. After today's win, they're now 4 points behind. Either way, this is a season where the Blackhawks weren't supposed to finish bottom 3, and we are very close to finishing at the very bottom of the league, which is not cool. So you have that. But, yeah. I got 3 players with some stats real quick. Levchinov, he had a pretty solid game. He led the team in fancy stats with a 59 Corsi and a 55 expected goal share. Vlasic, who I thought he looked good. I thought he was making good decisions with the puck, but he had some pretty atrocious stats. He finished with a 27 Corsi and a 21 expected goal share. So, not good, but using the eye test, I thought he looked fine. Connor Murphy, he had 6 shot attempts. His fancy stats weren't good, but he honestly, I thought he had a pretty solid game. He cared out there, and he did take this weird hit from Matvei Michkov where Like, I don't know what happened. It looked like the stick just exploded in his hands and went flying, and I was a little worried that Murphy was about to be injured, and the Blackhawks already have a lot of injuries. It would force Davidson to probably make another call up, which he's got one remaining from Rockford. And then, of course, TJ Brody, who's been scratched for a long time, would really rather not see him take a slot up that could be used to develop one of the younger defenders. And that's pretty much all I got on this game. So the Blackhawks, they host the New Jersey Devils on Wednesday. That game is going to be at 6:30 p.m. CT. I don't know when I'll be back with another episode. Obviously, find the time to do that and all of that. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening. Let's go Hawks.